Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome to our show titled Speak of Africa. My name is Prince Ojong, your host. We started this show because we wanted to give you a voice. And every week we upload a video on YouTube, and we ask you to share this video with your friends and family. And we also ask you to send us stories, because this is your show. We're just a vessel. Whatever news is breaking out in the motherland, we congregate, assemble all this news, then we'll do a show based on the topic. So pretty much you are our citizen journalists. Some of you are sending us stories every week, and we're encouraging you to continue sending us more stories. We try to research the news cycle to know the stories that are trending in Africa. We know these stories, but we like stories that come from you. You tell us what is happening, and we like the fact that some of you have started commenting, telling us your position on a lot of issues affecting the motherland. This show is a show about African problems. We want to look for ways to move Africa forward. This week, we were disheartened when we saw stories of migrants stranded in Juarez, Mexico. They're trying to cross into America. The problem of migrants, because of bad governance, a lot of Africans are running away. You remember the old Yoruba word Japa, right? Most of them are running away in search of greener pastures overseas. Some of these Africans were kidnapped in Juarez, Mexico, while trying to cross into the United States of America. After their families paid ransom to their kidnappers, they were freed and left in the open. The police were alerted when people saw a lot of Africans stranded. So the police came to help them. So please, we need to have good governance in Africa, because this story of migrants continues. When you look at what is happening in Libya, Algeria, a lot of Africans are moving north, trying to cross into Italy in search of greener pastures in Europe. The story continues. More people are dying, yet few people are learning lessons. It's like the more people die, more people want to follow the example. They want to die too. So it's like they're on a suicide mission to nowhere. So that's one of the stories we are drawing your attention to. And of course, the US presidential elections will be taking place on November 3rd. Already, things are heating up. Kamala Harris is facing former President Donald Trump. In fact, Kamala has caught the Obama magic, and it looks like a lot of people are favoring Kamala Harris, and Trump is whining already because he knows it looks like he's going to win. With Obama kind of magic, Trump cannot really stand it. So the way we see it, it is Kamala Harris's election to lose. The Democrats are very united, but we're not really concerned about American politics. What we're concerned about is, what is the foreign policy towards Africa going to be? So I think that's what we need to be thinking about. When we look at this presidential election in America, we have to ask ourselves, how is the presidency of Kamala Harris going to affect our brothers and sisters who are living in Africa? So what do you think? Donald Trump is coming for a second term. He's coming for a revenge, right? When he was president the first time, what did Donald Trump do to help Africans? When he comes now, is he going to do anything differently? Is he going to help Africans? We don't think so. So it remains to be seen. Then we also look at the role of the military in Africa. Bizimbi is a Betty word for military. Bizimbi, yeah. Bizimbi means the military took Bakassi, right? That's Bizimbi. So when you look at a lot of African countries, the role of the military is very, very great. In light of the intervention from Russia, because when you see Russian intervention in Africa, it's more of a military intervention. You have the Wagner Group, the African Corps, okay? That's what you're seeing. So we're going to look at how the military is affecting politics in the motherland. And you can see a lot of coup d'etats that have taken place, and some are being suppressed. But people really want to break democracy in this part of the world and create dictatorship. Which one is better? Well, we don't really think any is really better, because most of the democratic guys, when they come in, they are elected democratically. But before you know it, they start killing their brothers and sisters. Then when the military guys are there, things are not different. They kill civilians the same way. So the role of the military does not really change much. The pendulum will swing. Democracy, dictatorship is like two faces of the same coin. None of them is really good for the people. Even though initially, when a military junta deposes a dictator, initially the people are jubilant. They think things are going to change for the better. In little or no time, they start suffering from lack of freedom of speech. So things are not really changing much. And you can see what we're telling you when you look at Ambazonia. In Ambazonia, you can see that the military of La République du Cameroon is supposed to be there to protect the people. The police is supposed to keep the people safe. But today, the military is playing the role of Bia's attack dog. These people do not really understand that the military is supposed to be an independent national institution. In America, for example, the military is not Donald Trump's military. The military is not Joe Biden's military. The military is a national institution that takes care of the security interests of the country. This is what should obtain in Africa also. But does it? No. Most of the dictators tend to use the military as their weapon of choice. Okay? Some, like Paul Biya, have even decided to create their own private military, which is called B, Bataillon d'Intervention Rapide. The real army is powerless. Bataillon d'Intervention Rapide and the Presidential Guard, they have all the weapons. Whenever there's trouble, those are the people Biya sends to go and pick up their enemies. Even though on paper you think Cameroon is a democracy, but it's not, because the military is playing a colonial role. The military thinks they are there to serve the needs of the colonial master and the puppet president. But the military should know that they are supposed to be there to serve the interests of La République du Cameroun. But because La République du Cameroun is a French plantation, the military has misplaced objectives. The military is miseducated. The military consists of thugs from the president's village or surrounding area. That's how they are recruited. Most of these guys do not have really good education, but they are really suffering. They may pay them a little bit of money, but I don't think they are really better off. This week, we saw pictures and tapes from some military guys who were confessing. They are suffering a lot. So why are they beating and killing people who are fighting for freedom? For example, you have people in Ambazonia. They are fighting for freedom. Why is the military in La République killing them? They are taking orders from old people in Yaoundé who should be in retirement homes. But they cling to power. They kill other people's kids. And when you look at the military in La République du Cameroun, it's like a tale of two cities. Those who are rich and those who are poor. When you go to the military and you come from a poor family, you're not going to have a whole lot. You'll be treated like a poor person's son. But if your father is a big-time guy, a minister, a general, those who go to the war front are poor people's kids. And when you look at some of the people dying in Ambazonia from La République du Cameroun, they are people from poor families. Even today, we get news that the Ambazonian Restoration Forces have killed a few of these soldiers from La République. So every day it keeps happening. When La République gets angry, they target some of the young people in Ambazonia. Bike riders. These are young people who are making a living using their bikes. But they are targeted because they are young people. They just tag them with the term Amba, Amba, Amba. C'est un Amba. On doit le tuer. So a lot of young people are dying in big numbers it looks like these thugs from Biafra La République target these young people and they kill them in cold blood and nobody says anything. The international community is silent. So it's an international conspiracy to kill the young people of Amazonia. When you kill them, what is the future of this country? That's the sad news in La République du Cameroon. Of course, the people are not happy. So you can see, this time, they chased Biya in Hotel Intercontinental. This Biya guy has been chased from this hotel so many times, but he keeps returning to this hotel. What's this guy's problem? Is he insane or what? Maybe, because on this show, we've had many episodes showing you the way Cameroonians who are angry, even the Francophones, Brigade Anti-Sardina, they chased this guy from this hotel. His bodyguards beat some journalists from Switzerland, and they lost the case in court. Yet, this poor Biya guy returns to Hotel Intercontinental. So is this guy insane or what? Well, Albert Einstein defined insanity as doing the same thing and getting the same negative results, but you keep doing it. So if we use this qualification and definition, then Paul Biya is insane. Okay? From Cameroon, we move now to Libya. Since the NATO engineered downfall and killing of Muammar Gaddafi, there has been chaos in Libya. Today, we got news of 6 people who were killed and many others who were wounded in clashes among the factions in Libya. Since the overthrow of Muammar Gaddafi, Libya has known no peace. But this used to be a very peaceful country with a lot of assets and wealth. NATO used its military to bring down this guy. Why? Because he was talking about Pan-Africanism, and NATO knows that if Africa unites, it's a big loss to the Western powers. Okay? So that's the problem. NATO does not like African unity. America does not like African unity. Britain does not like African unity. France does not like African unity. Germany does not like African unity. All these colonial forces, they only want to exploit Africa. So you should know this, and you tell your African elite, they are conniving. They are using the military to connive to steal the resources of Africa. So the African elite is part of the African people's biggest problem. We think just like the French Revolution that happened and took away some of these bourgeoisie, a revolution needs to happen in a lot of these countries in Africa to sweep away these bastards who are stealing the resources of the motherland. Okay? And I think when I look at what is happening in Mali, it might be a knee-jerk reaction to the need to change things. In Mali this week, we get stories of anti-Western postures. Mali is against ECOWAS because they look at ECOWAS as the mouthpiece of Western imperialism. Most of those colonial guys are using ECOWAS against the African people. Assimi Goïta is angry and he wants to stop this. Then Assimi Goïta too has decided to sever ties with Ukraine, because Ukraine ambassador was asked to leave the country in 72 hours because Ukraine is supporting the rebels in Mali. Similarly, in Niger, the Swedish ambassador has been asked to leave the country because they were making some pronouncements. Some of these rebels were aided by the Ukrainian guys, and they killed a lot of forces from the Wagner group. So Niger is an ally of Russia, so they don't like the presence of the West. So this is fueling a lot of discontent. So you see Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso, they are breaking diplomatic ties with a lot of Western countries. So France is not the only country that is feeling the pinch. We told you before, France's mining company, Orano, has been feeling the pinch. They have withdrawn a lot of their mining contracts. So now they are really losing money. Because Niger has probably the fourth biggest deposits of uranium in the world. And France has been depending on this to light up their nuclear arsenal. So Niger has dealt a severe blow to France.
$25,000 to $250,000 per year made easy. Do you dream about making big money? Well, we all do. Imagine joining pharmacy professionals to earn good money. Statistics show that the big pharma industry rules and controls America like a colossus. Do you want to find more details about the hidden gem? Join the Pharmacy Success crew now. Become a pharmacy professional today. Let us train you as pharmacy techs, foreign pharmacy graduates, USA pharmacy students. Learn to earn. We offer affordable online and offline programs. Act now. Browse our website for details, pharmacyprof.com, or call 301-760-0335.
Next, we take you to Mozambique. Mozambique is the country of Samora Machel. You remember Samora Machel once said, "The day you see the Western guys praising me, it means I've betrayed you, my people." But he decided to die for his people. He decided that he would love his people. We need leaders like Mozambique's Samora Machel. But today, there's a bribe of good news I can share with you from Mozambique. It looks like 6 police officers who had killed people in 2020 were sentenced to imprisonment because of these crimes. So at least the victims have found some justice. So this is something positive. But what about Nigeria? Is there going to be any justice for the matters of freedom? Most of the people who were protesting the last few weeks in Nigeria were killed. They were killed in cold blood. The police killed them, okay? The police killed them. So these people were merely exercising the right of free speech. They went to exercise their right to free speech and they lost their lives. How can this happen in a democratic country? And Bola Tinubu is telling us he's meeting with some patriots to change the constitution. What are you changing? What is interesting is the people are saying they are hungry. And this hunger is not just physical hunger. It is also hunger in a metaphorical sense. Okay? The people are rebelling. The economy is collapsing. The naira is falling apart. So, what do you think? Do you think Bola Tinubu is handling Nigeria well? Most Nigerians don't think so. Most Nigerians are even asking Bola Tinubu to restore the subsidy, the oil subsidy, because they think that the problem they are facing now with the collapse of the naira is because of the eradication of the oil subsidy. What do you think? Some of you guys know economics better than I do. So do you think Bola Tinubu should restore the oil subsidy? Yes or no? Tell us. What about the free floating naira? Before, the naira was protected, but now the naira is on free fall. It is based on market conditions. So it is subject to the vagaries of the international finance system. So is this good for Nigeria or is it not good for Nigeria? So what are some of the reforms you think Bola Tinubu should make in order to move Nigeria forward? We are talking to you, our people. Tell us, because we want to know. We want to know what can be done to help the Nigerians. Because those are some of the issues that are on the minds of a lot of Nigerians. Because they want to come up with ideas that can help the country move forward. Because Nigeria has a lot of serious problems. Okay? A lot of serious problems. So, Bola Tinubu needs to have a more concrete plan. Then he needs to share this plan with a board of economists so they can give him advice on what can be done to move the country forward. But there's a lot of theft going on in the country, a lot of theft. Oil should have been a good resource to really help the Nigerian economy. But from what even somebody like Aliko Dangote was saying, the oil mafia is very big. Who is the oil mafia? We need to unmask the faces of the oil mafia. And one of the big guys in the oil mafia is Bola Tinubu, the president himself. So if he thinks what we're saying is a lie, he should defend himself. Aliko Dangote has been talking about the oil mafia. He created a refinery so that he can refine Nigeria crude. And this will be good. You can refine your crude at home, then you sell it in international markets. But some of the thieves in Nigeria, they take this oil abroad to Malta, process it over there, then sell it back to Nigerians at a higher price. And we hear the guy who owns most of these companies in Malta is none other than Bola Tinubu and his cronies. So the president is a thief in chief. He's the main guy stealing Nigeria's oil. They may be blaming the guys in the creeks who are collecting little portions of Nigerian oil, but the big size oil, big stuff, is stolen by the president himself. So Bola Tinubu now is Mr. Thief. It's very, very sad. So this oil, from what we're investigating, they say Bola Tinubu is the one stealing this stuff, takes it abroad, then brings it back and sells it to Nigerians. So you see why he removed the oil subsidy? So the poor people are suffering, but Bola Tinubu and his friends are making money. So that's why Bola Tinubu is not a good guy. Okay? Next, we take you to Sierra Leone. In Sierra Leone also, you can see the role of the military. Okay? The military always wants to come back because they are tired of the way civilians are mismanaging the economy. Even in Nigeria, you always have military coup d'etat. Somebody is saying, oh, there will be no more military coup d'etat. There will be military coup d'etats in Nigeria because the military guys are not going to sit and watch rogues like Bola Tinubu steal the people's wealth.
Tired of waiting in long lines at the emergency room or your doctor's office? You should be. Why wait in long lines for care? It's time for you to come to Lucille Urgent Care. Real care, no waiting. Lucille Urgent Care, the best place for true and loving care. Service at Lucille Urgent Care is convenient, fast, time efficient, affordable, accessible, transparent, and cost effective. Royal treatment is your right. Indeed, it's not just a privilege or pejorative. Skip the emergency room's long lines, kiss the ER goodbye, say farewell to your old doctor's office, pay less, save time, enjoy the excitement of convenience, receive immediate treatment, get the healthcare you need quickly and affordably. Lucille Urgent Care offers many express services: rapid COVID-19 testing, on-site prescription, preventative lab services, imaging and x-rays, urgent medical treatment for common illnesses and injuries, routine vaccines and flu shots, work-related injury services, pre-employment, occupational, annual, and sports physicals, immigration exams, and much more. Same-day treatment, rapid lab results, extended hours, weekend hours, no appointment necessary, no insurance necessary, no doctor necessary, walk-ins accepted, telemedicine available. We are open 7 days a week with evening and weekend hours. We are located in Maryland, Lucille Urgent Care, 903 Half York Road, Towson, Maryland, 21204. Website, lucilleuc.com. Call at 443-275-1286 or 301-593-4897.
No. In Sierra Leone, Madabio, I just witnessed the way the court they have sentenced the guys who played a role in the attempted coup d'etat. President Barack Obama was taken to Nigeria as a compromise move for health treatment. But over 24 guys who were accused of being part of the coup d'etat plot, they have been sentenced now to many years in prison. So this is very, very sad, but that's what happens in Africa because the politic of exclusion, whenever you don't want to share power, when you don't want to share the cake with your fellow Sierra Leoneans, this is what happens. When you don't want to share the cake with your fellow Nigerians, this is what happens. People want to take the law into their own hands. And that's what causes these coup d'etats. There is a monopoly of weapons in the military. But now people buy these weapons in the black market and they use them to create havoc, which is why there's a lot of insecurity in Africa. From Sierra Leone now, we take it to Uganda. In Uganda, we understand there is a landslide in a rubbish heap which has killed so many people. And we want to take this moment to condole with the families who have lost members in this landslide. Whenever we lose fellow Africans, it's a sad day, and we express our condolence to the families in Uganda who lost a lot of members in this landslide. The landslide too may have to do with the way the government manages its landscape. We know that there will be landslides and there will be floods, so we need to spend more time studying how to build some of these structures in our cities so that we can provide a way to avoid landslides and flooding. Finally, on this show, we take you to Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe. Emerson Mnangagwa has been president since the overthrow of Robert Mugabe. But you think this new guy who has come to power from the assistance that he got from the military will try to do something for his country? No. He wastes his time just stealing the resources of the country, then silencing the opposition. Nelson Chamisa, I think one of the leaders of the opposition, has been crying foul. He has been asking himself why South Africa cannot even help Zimbabwe become free. Well, that's a good question. What do you think? Should South Africa play a role in liberating Zimbabwe from a dictator such as Emerson Mnangagwa? Well, in South Africa itself, things are not perfect. They are still struggling to get a handle on what is happening. Okay? So you can see the role of the military in African politics. So it's for you now to tell us what you think. What should be done to curb the role of the military in African politics? Do you think what is happening in Mali, where Assimi Goïta is ruling, challenging the West, is it good? What about what is happening in Burkina Faso with Ibrahim Traoré thumping his nose at colonial power such as France? Is this a good thing? Comment and tell us. What about in Niger? General Abdurrahman Tiani is using the word sovereignty, challenging the West, befriending Iran, befriending Russia. What do you think? Some of you have been accusing me of anti-Russian feeling. No, I'm not anti-Russian. What I'm saying is we cannot substitute one colonial master, the West, for another colonial master, Russia. We need to negotiate from a position of strength. But it looks like our people don't care. Russia can exploit Africa, but America should not. Russia can exploit Africa, but France should not exploit Africa. So why do you make that kind of discrimination? We don't agree with that. We think Africa just needs to be a non-aligned continent so that Africa can make friends with both sides, but the national interest of Africa should be paramount. National interest. Because that's how all these countries do things in their countries. They do them based on national interests. Okay? But in Africa, most of these politicians don't care about the interests of the nation. They care about their pockets. And that's why there's a lot of corruption and there's a lot of bad governance. The leaders come to power by paying their way. So when they get into power, they have to pay back the piper. And that's why you have a lot of corruption, bribery and corruption, bribery and corruption. The beautiful ones are not yet born in Africa. That's the story. Thank you very much. May God bless you.
Do you need tax preparation services? We can help. Contact PJ Tax Service, America's only full-time income tax preparers. Like the good old doctor, we do not close our doors after April 15th. In fact, we stay open all year round in order to serve you. We're located at 11207A, Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20901. Make an appointment today with Prince Ojong, your tax expert. Call 240-350-1131 or visit us on the web at www.pjtaxservice.com.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.